Welcome to Keep It Humane, the podcast, where we dive deep into topics surrounding kindness, compassion, and creating a more humane world, whether it's in our communities, in the workplace, or in the world of animal control and shelters. With our hosts,
Ashlee Bishop.
And Ashlee Bishop.
And I'm Daniel Ettinger. This show is sponsored by Tomahawk Live Trap. Check them out, livetrap.com. Look at us. It's the family again. We are all here. How's your weeks been? I know Wisconsin Bishop, you all these hats that you wear, you've been so busy. So how you been?
I know my shelter's feeling the burn right now. Over 250 animals in a 9,000 square building,
Wow.
9,000 square foot building with, majority of them being cats. I also have, I don't know, apparently, like I'm not quite taking work home with me, but I am. I have 3 foster kittens, and then some friends were like, hey, can you watch our 2 dogs too? So I currently have 4 dogs, my 2 cats, 3 kittens, and my husband and twins.
Ma'am, you're over 4. That's illegal in my jurisdiction.
But it doesn't count because the kittens aren't old enough to be technically even away from mom.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. But I will be following up in a week.
Sounds good. You can pet the spicy ones.
She's leaving a notice. You're getting a notice. Texas, how's the weather? Is it starting to like simmer down?
Yes, and today it's dark outside, which is fitting because my husband and I started the documentary on Katrina, which is
nice.
I kind of want to watch that actually. Yeah.
It's rough. But yeah, it's I don't know if Wisconsin's feeling it, but like that weird storm that's supposed to be coming through the states has reached us already, and it's dark outside and it looks like it's about to pour again.
Wow.
Oh yeah, no, it is sunny and 63 degrees with a high of almost 80 today. So
yeah, love that for you.
You know what it's been here for the last like 3 months. Not that I'm complaining.
I don't care.
68 degrees.
I don't care.
No, I mean it's gotten into the 80s.
Oh.
However, I don't think I've seen rain. I'm trying to think of the last time it rained here, like actually rained. And I don't know if it has in the year that I've been here. So that's wild.
You don't need to brag, Dan.
I went to the beach yesterday for like a nice hour. Mooney played. His new thing is he loves to swim, but the problem is he'll swim in circles, and then by the time you know it, he's in Hawaii. I'm like, bro, where are you? And then I have to swim out there, grab him, hope no sharks are going to eat either of us, and then come back. So I don't let him go in anymore. I'm like, no.
Sounds like we need a 15-foot lead. How about that?
Yeah. So he has a life vest. What do you call that? Yeah,
Life vest.
And we will when we do go swim with him, like when the girls are here visiting and stuff, and we go out there, we usually put that on and then put a lead on there and just be like, all right, dude. this guy, I love that dog, but he is a knucklehead.
Dog. No, he's not.
We got some housekeeping stuff. Please check it. I don't do this enough. Check out keepithumane.com. Check out Keep It Humane on all the socials. Hey, how about check out Smart Shelters? Because that's a private group that is continuing to grow, and there's some great stuff in there. So yeah, I forget to promote the great work that we're doing, so I apologize. But what I don't apologize is Tomahawk Live Trap. They're celebrating their 100th year in business. They're a family-owned and operated business who work with humane professionals around the world to produce the safest and most effective animal handling equipment available. You can save 10% on their products by using discount code Keep It Humane. That's right, Keep It Humane in all caps with no spacings. You can visit them online at livetrap.com or call them 800-272-8727. Mooney he's back here just playing around he's like a cat. If he was a dog, wait, he's a dog. If he wasn't
a cat dog?
He's a cat dog. Cat dog.
Oh God. I wasn't allowed to watch that show growing up.
What show was that?
Cat dog.
Cat dog?
That's a show?
It is on Nickelodeon. It was literally a cat and a dog. They had no form of excrement.
Yeah. There was nothing beyond the hips.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Estoy cansado, jefe. I'm tired, yo. This
Oh,
week it's just been, I can't.
well, let's talk about that because I think it builds, and then if you don't have the right outlets or the right way to process self-care, etc., you turn into this guy that we're going to watch here in a second. And for those of you that may not know about it, there was a case out of Beaumont, I think is how you say it,
Mm-hmm.
Beaumont, California, which is actually not too far from me. So if any of the city listeners are listening, city leaders are listening, county leaders are listening and want some training, I will drive up there. I will happily come and show your staff how to properly handle dogs. Do that. And shoot, I'll even do it for free for y'all just because this looks real bad. And when we talk about that, like we've endured this for centuries
Mm-hmm.
where we've been misrepresented because all the ACOs out there doing the good work and all the shelter staff doing the good work, it just takes one person to make it bad for everybody. So we're going to watch the video really quick. I do apologize for some of the vulgar language that is in the video.
What he said to you. Just take the video and post what he said to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a video. Just how you're treating the fucking animal. Yeah, no, the way you're speaking to me and then talking about the animal, you should get a different job. It's a fuck. Look at it. See how you did that? Something's fucking literally wrong with you. Yeah. Did you see that? Okay, yeah. Treating a fucking animal like that.
All right, so in the
Mm.
video, you can clearly see a dog that did not appear to be in distress or
Aggressive.
aggressive or um, fighting back. Like there was no issues whatsoever with the dog that we could see from our vantage point, and it's disturbing.
It's disgusting. That's what it is. It's disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. And there's two key points that I want to bring up about this video in general, which I talk to our staff all the time about, is your emotional intelligence when you're out in the field. People can be rough. Don't get me wrong. Kudos to all the ACOs out there who are only carrying a catch pole day to day, because some people can be absolutely scary. I don't get me wrong. Um, but it's the energy that you come out with people too. And that video is not it. It is not it. It is exactly what the dog catcher um persona is, and it's just disgusting, and that individual needs to get out of the industry, period.
I love that take, and I'm sure there'll be people there to defend him. And if you
Of
can't see the
course.
video on YouTube or Spotify, you can watch it on both. If you're listening on Spotify, you could have seen it there or on our YouTube channel, Keep It Humane. There were people defending him in the ACO talk group on Facebook. There were people, and it's it, it is exactly where the dog catcher stereotype came from. It isn't even a stereotype. Maybe exaggeration came from, right? Like it is what you would expect to see in a Disney movie. And I'd love that. I mean, if this dude ever wanted to just come on and talk about why he decided to choose those actions, let's have that conversation. In the video, what stood out to me too was the body language of the individual. Body language tells a lot. 55% of communication is nonverbal. Actually, it's more than that. 55% is body language, some other part is tone, and then the words that you use, right? So, in that aspect, like, what was his reasoning? If maybe that's their department policy that all dogs have to be contained on a
On a
catch
catch
pole.
pole.
I don't know of any agency like that, but maybe that's their. But if that's the case, why wouldn't you just take a towel or a leash, put it under the dog's belly, and lift up both at the same time, essentially making a sling?
I, the only thing that I want to say, and I'm not trying to say that what he did was right because it absolutely he could have made a sling. There were so many things that could have been done. Um, but there was things that happened before that video and things that happened after that video. We only saw a very small snippet of it. Um, but yes, absolutely a sling with a leash or a towel or something else like that. Or just leash muzzling the dog so you can actually properly.
There you
I
go.
actually found that it was way better to do a leash muzzle even with a calm dog because it gives them something to focus on and not fight you picking them up.
You know the other thing that stood out that I didn't catch, but one of our viewers did? Um, there's a ramp.
Oh, I didn't even see.
Yeah. There's a
Okay, but
ramp
have
right
you ever
under.
had one of those kinds of
Yes.
trucks with a ramp?
Yes, I have.
They're a
It's
pain
I
in the
have never
butt. Ours
gotten,
do.
they do suck. They
they
do
are
suck.
awful.
They do
And
suck.
some of them don't even pull out. Like mine got to a point I couldn't even pull it out because it got off kilter.
Mm.
But they obviously had the means and the tools available.
Just like devil's advocate, and to make a point of what Ashley said, yes, we have no idea what happened before or after. Absolutely, we don't know
Yeah.
that. We
We
don't
don't.
know why this dog was possibly put on a catch bowl. For all we know, the dog might have had some specific behaviors, made this officer uncomfortable, or whatever the case might be.
Or
Mhm.
But
even showed signs of rabies.
yeah, but
Yeah, in California, a dog with rabies. Yeah, that's the thing.
Hey, if they come
um,
up from anywhere else and get dumped.
yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Ashley.
No, you're fine. It's just looking at that clip. That dog's already on the catch bowl.
Hmm.
That dog's already exhibiting behaviors that, like, cool, bro. I'm on this catch pole. We're good. Good. I'm not gator rolling. I'm
Nope.
not trying to attempt to bite the crap out of the red foam that's on the end
Mhm.
of that catch pole. Like, at that point, make the decision of, okay, how can I ease this dog's way into the vehicle?
Hmm.
Like, I just, and we tell our officers all the time too, like, if yes, if you have to start with that catch pole, yes, it's a safety concern, use it. But if you have the ability to get a slip lead over that catch pole over that dog's neck to possibly get the dog into the vehicle that way, then do it. Takes maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes. If the dog is friendly and you think you're going to be good, or you need assistance from the citizens around you, like, say, hey, there's a towel in the next kennel, can you please grab it for me so that I can get this animal into the vehicle as safely as possible? you know Again, there's just so many different ways that this could have been handled. Or I don't know, it's infuriating to watch something like that. And again, devil's advocate, we don't know what happened before or after, but still, it's a moment in time where now is in our, what do I want to say? It's in a moment of time that is now stained again. And we go back to, well, that officer and so that I dealt with 6, 7 months ago also did the same thing. And it's just
Hmm.
disgusting behavior. And now all animal control officers are like this. They don't care. They shouldn't be in the industry, blah, 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 blah. It's just, it doesn't help. It doesn't help what we're trying to do.
It becomes more of our identity when it doesn't need to be because what we're
Correct.
not capturing is all the good stuff everybody else is doing. We're capturing these bad moments.
Yeah. And we all know it's the ones that scream a lot louder that make it a point that this is how it is rather than not.
Well, and what is it like 10 times? And I guess I'm making up a number here because I can't remember exactly, but um, bad behavior, bad um, instances of dealing with people or things like that will go 10 times further than positive.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Like people will hear about it that much louder because when was the last time we saw something on the news about somebody doing something good in animal welfare,
Nothing,
right?
because it's always
But
another department.
right, because this is now viral and so everybody is seeing this.
Hmm.
Um I hope that the city leaders kind of take a look at that and,
Well,
you know,
I'm glad you bring that up, Ashley, because I have something I would like to share with you and our listeners.
then be my guest.
So KTLA, very LA's very own KTLA. That's the big one here in Southern California. KTLA.com. Southern California City responds to a video of an animal control officer's removal of a dog. City officials in Beaumont, California are reviewing complaints that an animal control officer mishandled the removal of an allegedly aggressive dog. Part of the incident was recorded on video. It occurred on August 22nd, 2025 at about 3 p.m. at 1025 East 6th Street in Beaumont. And the video was originally shared on social media by Nikki Thompson, who works at a local business. It was later reposted by the Animal Hope and Wellness Foundation and other accounts, like Keep It Humane. According to Thompson, the dog, estimated to be under a year old, had wandered onto the business property. She provided food and water while waiting for animal control to arrive. By her account, when the animal control officer arrived, he made dismissive and upsetting remarks about the dog and reacted angrily when she recorded his actions. The video shows the officer using a control pole, a long implement with a metal cable loop that fits around the dog's neck, to pull the dog and eventually lift it into his service vehicle. This sweet baby came into my work, Thompson wrote on social media. He's very sweet. Gave him food and water, and he just wanted to be loved. The way the officer spoke was disgusting. I walked into work crying and upset. She said multiple witnesses were present and that attempts to report the incident to law enforcement were unsuccessful. The foundation praised Thompson's response, calling her a hero for stepping in and documenting the encounter. We understand that videos and images shared online may have raised questions about the manner in which the situation was handled, the city of Beaumont posted on social media Sunday. City officials said the dog was safely removed by animal control without injury and was being housed at its facility. We want to assure the public that our officers are trained professionals who often must make quick decisions in potentially dangerous situations. Their primary responsibility is to protect both the community and the animals involved, the city stated. That said, we take all community concerns seriously. We are currently reviewing the incident to ensure that our professional standards are followed and to determine if any additional training or procedural adjustments are necessary. Officials said the dog will be available for adoption soon, pending a minimum holding period of 72 hours. Well, as offered, I will give you that free training. So, there you go. It, I
So
get, yeah.
what I want to say, and it may come, you guys may have differing opinions, and that's okay.
Say it.
That's why we're here.
I do, in some degree, want to commend the city staff for at least being like, yes, we're investigating it, but at this time we're kind of standing by our guy
Yeah.
because at least, you know, it, as many problems as I had at my old department, um, I can say that when citizens would call and things like that, it was they would first and foremost stand up for whatever it was and then behind the scenes deal with like, okay, what did you do? Do we need to look at doing it different? Whatever. And so having that support to then be able to tell the community, granted, this video is really bad, but it's also a short snippet. Like I have very mixed feelings, I guess. So I just hope that they actually properly investigate.
Okay, you can have those mixed feelings. My issue is not necessary. My issue is obviously one with the way he handled, like using the cash flow is fine if that's what you need to do. And the way he lifts it, I have an issue with that. But
Right.
more so, is his body language, is his behavior, is his like personal part of that. And
Do
that,
we know that he's actual like ACO?
I mean, driving an ACO truck and wearing a weird uniform, it looks like a,
It doesn't matter. That's the exact same. uniform that my community services wore. They still drove my truck.
But
They were not trained.
did the article refer to him as an animal control officer? I think it did.
Mhm.
But that doesn't mean that they actually knew that for a fact.
I just think
He's
that
controlling the animal, in their opinion. Sorry, devil's advocate.
please, you play it all day long. I'll just say that that behavior, that body language, that attitude of like you're superior than others does not belong. It just doesn't. Like you are a community service member. The badge, the uniform, all of that stuff does not give you more authority or power than anybody, and don't act that way. And I would imagine, I would assume, now I'm making an assumption, that because she was talking shit, and rightfully so, he got on the radio to call for PD for backup. This lady's being mean to me. She hurt my ego.
And here's the other thing I want to say, though, too. If you are having a bad day, a bad time, we should normalize taking mental health sick days.
Absolutely.
So, what was also going on in this person's life outside of work
Hmm.
that could have had an impact on how they behaved that day?
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, which is still on them to stand up and advocate for themselves. And you don't have to tell your employer that it's a sick day for a mental health day that you need a break. You can just be like, hey, I'm calling in sick today, you know? Um, and so taking that time for yourself to be able to do better at your job.
Hmm.
Because we never know what anybody else is going through, right?
You don't know if they're dealing with people in their own life, maybe dealing with whatever health issues, etc. So, yeah.
Sounds to me like he, I mean, if that's the case, I want to put another plug in for Tomahawk Live Trap because they have what I deemed the emotional support live trap. That when you get really, really frustrated, it's a magnetic door. So you just put a bike glove on and you can punch the door open to be able to set it.
Hmm.
I think every department needs an emotional support live trap.
And check them out,
Sorry.
livetrap.com. Don't forget to use discount code Keep It Humane, all caps. Um, well,
Sorry, I felt like we needed to lighten it up a little bit.
No, for sure. And I'm going back and I'm looking at some of the comments on where these were posted in some of the animal welfare pages, and I came across two comments back to back that I think, put things in perspective overall. This one comment says, tactful awareness is what's wrong here, regardless of what led to this. Knowing you're being recorded means your audience, in quotations, is not going to be just the people you dealt with that led up to
Mm.
something. Nobody, and that's all in caps, but us can understand the things we have to do. Yes. And someone witnessing the things we have to do out of context can always lead to skewed perception. Again, know your audience. If you're being watched and you feel the need for your own safety to have to straight pole lift instead of support lift, all you have to do is, say something. Simple. Always remember, when you're out in public, CYA, all day, every day. This dude looked like he was pretty pissed off, by the way, and he should have handled the dog and focused on that first, then engaged with the person. So,
absolutely.
yeah. And then this next comment I want to read is also pretty good. This one says, this is near to me, and I've seen longer videos than what is posted. The control stick isn't even around the dog's neck, but it's rib cage. I can't tell that from the video. I don't know if you guys can. The officer exchanges heated words with those filming him instead of trying to diffuse the situation. Yep. The dog, once on the stick, completely shuts down. He could have fixed the situation and handled more efficiently and humanely than trying to load quickly to leave the situation, which didn't happen. This is clearly a sign of burnout, stress with this individual. They probably work alone, and we've all dealt with overcrowding.
All right. In the over a decade that I was in the field myself, there was never one time in my career where I lifted a dog that way. And I worked multiple shifts, PM by myself. Like there was never a time. And I've had bad dogs, angry dogs. Like I took I I took the what's the word I want to say? The time to figure it out and got the animal safely in my vehicle without having to put it in a stressful situation. Regardless if the loop was somewhat under the one arm, it's still completely inappropriate. And again, perception is everything. So the community doesn't know that. All they see is Dave the dog catcher here, or whatever the heck his name is, lifting a dog inappropriately.
Yeah.
And I want to come back to um training though too. Like
Hmm.
just because they have that uniform and have the vehicle, you know, with the CSOs, like the ones that I was training, I literally had 4 hours of their 40 hours to train them on how to catch animals, how to, like, I had to go over laws, I had to go over equipment, I had to go over procedure for getting them to the shelter and things like that in 4 hours. And then as they were working, if we happened to, um, our schedules work together, I could take them in the vehicle with me to calls and get more one-on-one with them. But I was not given time to actually properly train the people that are taking. And I can tell you that all of the officers, none of them got decent amount of time with me or anything too. Um, and so there's no reason why communities that are requiring staff to handle the animals are not providing proper training.
I'm going to go back and share my screen really quick with y'all because though it does appear that yes, maybe he did loop it under a leg, just look at that image, right?
Yeah.
Look how the dog is being held, and then just watch. I'm going to just kind of I feel like I'm instant replay on a football game, right? So he has it here. He's lift like it's the image, it's perspective. Look at this
Yeah.
dog dangling, full body. I would imagine that cord, if it was underneath one arm, it's still going to be painful in the moment for the dog, and then he's just shoving him in there. There's just zero compassion for this guy, from this guy. He's
And
angry,
I just
right?
think like the last yeet of the dog, like it's just like, you know
Right,
what I
right
mean?
here.
Like yeah, like if it's
Yeah.
one thing that if a dog's acting aggressive, don't get me wrong, guys. Like, you know, again, we all deal with different situations, different times. We're not there. Absolutely, I get that. You know, we all know that dog that alligator rolls, that's
Mm-hmm.
absolutely unhappy on that catch pole. We have
Mm-hmm.
all dealt with that. Absolutely. But like most of the people say, you know, me looking at this, you know, with my whatever years of experience, regardless, that dog has given up at that point. Like that dog's on that catch pole. He has given up. He has given
mhm,
up. There's no need for him to do that, in my opinion. In my opinion.
right.
I mean, it's just, you know, there's situations where dogs don't give up. You know, you put a dog on a snappy snare, you have to get that catch pole on them because that snappy snare is not going to be enough, or you have to put that lead on them because it's not going to be enough. And you have to just praise the Lord Jesus that you can get it in the vehicle. There are dogs like that. There
Mm-hmm.
are
Mhm.
dogs like that. Don't get me wrong. But in a situation like this, where we can see already that this dog has given up, there was clearly other ways he could have done that. And he
Mm-hmm.
could even use the pole to control the head on one side, lift him up, and yeet, ready to go.
I
Right.
I am known, I have this reputation wherever I go to be almost anti-catch pole, and I don't mean that to like I don't it's not it really isn't an ego thing for me. It's truly how can we properly handle an animal with the least
I
amount of
hate
stress
them.
with the least amount of stress possible. Like that's where I come from. That is my only like reason behind that. And what you just said there, Bishop, was well, Texas Bishop was that put the pole on them and lift. Like I've mastered that with a leash. You get a leash on them and then you shorten it as much as you can so then you can use your own hand to extend the head and almost, keep the
Mm-hmm.
dog away from you. And then you still lift, whether you use a towel underneath the belly or you just scoop and
Mm-hmm.
put on the truck. And so look,
Or a harness, you
yeah.
turn the leash into a harness. The number of times that I do that at work
Hmm.
regularly,
Hmm.
because again, you've got that harness. You can then pick them up and move them.
Hmm.
It just, I feel like, you know, we're beyond the days of, you know, like this action of just putting the dog on a catch pole and get it up and go. Like, take the time. to see what this dog's like.
Hmm.
You know, again, we don't know what that was like. We don't know what that first interaction was. We really don't. But at the same time, if you get to a point where you get, you know, the catch pole on the dog, take the time to see if you can't get it to calm down. Take the time to do your little baby, like, here, puppy, puppy,
Hmm.
and figure it out. And, you know, if it works, great. If it doesn't, then all of that would have been caught on camera. Like you at least trying rather than just to be the dog catcher, get the dog and dump it at the shelter is what that video tells me.
And even if the, here puppy puppy doesn't work, you can still get uh, forceful with the dog, give the dog commands. Like some dogs are not going to deal well with the here puppy puppy. Move on to actually showing assertiveness through your voice because that can be significantly changing for the dog. I've seen dogs just, you know, it's like flip of the switch and change their demeanor.
Like, just take the time, guys. Take the time. I'm not going to be, and you know, and this is not for, I can't speak for all of the departments out there, but I would rather an officer of ours take the time, spend, if he's got to spend 30 more minutes on a call to see if he can't get this dog to come around, I would rather you do that because at the end
Hmm.
of the day, it's going to make it also easier, an easier job for the staff on the inside and operations to ensure that this dog's not traumatized from having to go through the alligator rolling and all the things out in the field and then coming back to the shelter and panicking with an already stressful situation.
So I want to talk about a incident that I had. We had a dog that had been running for days at this point. But she had blood around her mouth and stuff, and there had been a report that she had been possibly hit by a car. And it was a puppy, of course, so all that more traumatizing. Like, maybe didn't know what a decent person was because, she had such a short life. Um, and it got to a point where like I got a leash on her, but then she began alligator rolling on me with the leash on. So that's when I called for backup. And like Dan, I actually don't like catch pulls because I actually feel like I have significantly less control
Mm.
on a dog because yeah, I can push him away from me, but if I'm in a tight corner or something, I don't have the control. But in this case, like I had to call for backup and have somebody go get me the catch pole so that I could actually manipulate her a little bit better. Um, but I spent 45 minutes to an hour on that call just trying to get her out from the bushes and not making her run back towards the vehicles that had already hit her.
Mhm.
Um, and just listening to her screaming. Like this was probably one of the more traumatizing catches that I've had. Um, but I took that time, you know, and if any of my superiors would have said to me, like, why were you on this call so long? The first thing I would have said to them, because it's what would have mattered to them, not what matters to me, but if you wanted me to handle that faster, I could have, but what would it have looked like to the community? And how much of an uproar do you want to deal with?
Mm.
And that's honestly what I would have just said to them. Nobody questioned me. It wasn't an issue, but most leaders who don't know what we do on a regular basis anyway, if you say that to them, they're probably going to go, "Oh, yeah, I guess I don't want to deal with the backlash."
You know, I one thing that I didn't mention, and again, it's hypothetical. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just from my perspective, is how much in that video is his behavior in reaction to how he's handling a dog actually a reaction to the woman that was recording him. Like
Hmm.
he was angry at her, so he's like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna do it this way." Like, which is even worse in my opinion.
Hmm.
That's
And yeah, I was gonna say that earlier too. Like, is he just doing it now because of her reaction?
I wanted to do something to for perspective. I wanted to look and see like if I just put an animal control officer into Google and then go to the news section, how long until I find a good article? And it took about 3 pages to find something that was like really solid. And I want to read that. I want to kind of change our our a- perspective, like leave on a good
I know.
Positive note.
positive note. Concho Valley, ConchoValleyHomepage.com. I don't even know where that is. San Angelo. Anybody? San Angelo
There's a
Animal
San
Services.
there's a San Angelo in Texas.
I feel like it would be Texas. It's in Central Time. So here's the headline. And this is posted on the 28th, August 28th. San Angelo Animal Services worker swims lake to save baby deer.
Oh,
I think that was here.
San Angelo, Texas, a member of the City of San Angelo Animal Services
Hmm.
Division, is being lauded a hero after he swam roughly 60 yards in Lake Nosworthy to save an injured baby deer from drowning.
oh,
Nicholas, my man Nicholas, a licensed animal control officer for the City Animal Services, said his division received a call shortly after lunch from the owner of a lake house or I'm sorry, the owner of Lake House Pizzeria and Tap Room, a restaurant that operates on the shore of Lake Nosworthy. The owner informed Animal Services that a baby deer with a visible injured leg was swimming in and out of the water behind the business. Nicholas Quinley, along with another animal control officer, John Wells, loaded up into a truck and hurried to the pizzeria. The duo spoke with the caller after arriving on scene, learning that the deer was on the lake banks between the water and the fence. As the animal control officer scaled the fence and approached the animal, Quinley was able to discern that it was suffering from a broken leg. You could see the bone. Oh, that's sad. That's sad.
compound fractures. Never good.
There's a picture here if you go to the webpage, Concho Valley
Yeah.
homepage. The baby deer wasn't done with the limb, though. It ran into Lake Nosworthy and started to swim, expending more of its already drained injury as it fled in the direction of the lake's center. If left alone, the animal wasn't likely to survive. Something needed to be done. You could already tell it was exhausted, Quinley said. Its head was barely above water. Quinley sprang, that's the word, right? Sprang
Hmm.
into action, removing his shoes, emptying his pockets, taking off his shirt before getting into the lake to pursue the injured deer. That's what I look like when Mooney goes into the ocean, by the way. Seriously. Getting into the water isn't really a go-to move, but if one of us didn't do anything, that deer would have drowned, Quinley said. He estimated the fawn was 30 yards into the lake before he was able to catch it. He then
Buried.
ferried like a ferry the deer back into the shore for another 30 yards of swimming, all while the animal was uh, bleeding? Is that the
Hmm.
word? Bleeding?
Yeah,
And
that's the sound they
attempting,
make.
oh, and attempting to escape the rescuer. When Quinley was finally able to return to the bank, he handed the fawn over to the Texas game wardens, who also had been dispatched to the incident. The deer would have then been given to a local animal rehab for treatment, securing its safety. Lake House Pizzeria and Tap Room published photos of the rescue on its Facebook page, garnering hundreds of reactions and shares. Several users commented on the post as well, with some calling Quinley a hero. Hell yeah! Nicholas Quinley, you're my hero, one user commented. Quinley doesn't think he's a hero, however. He said that although calls for wildlife drowning at the lake are rare, he believes anyone would have done the same thing in his line of work. I was just doing my job, Quinley said. I feel like anyone else in the situation that I work with would have done the same thing. Shout out to Nicholas Quinley. You probably get free pizza anytime you go to that tap room. So that's cool. But that's not
There's a
why
picture of him
I see
that
it.
is shared on,
I
and
see
the
it.
game warden's at the shore.
Oh, that's hilarious. That is that is hilarious. You know, the crazy piece too is some departments you would get in trouble for doing that.
Hmm.
Which is sad. Which is sad. But
And like I always tell, our staff, call all the departments or call me and I will call somebody and we will figure it out. Man, we've had, luckily we're in the public works department, so I got access to all the streets and drainage crew, the water crews, all the things. So if we can't figure it out, we're going to collectively figure it out. So we're lucky in that sense where, we'll figure things out and try to help whatever we can in situations that we can try to help.
Did,
But yeah, kudos to them.
mhm.
did I ever tell you guys about the goat on an island that I had?
No.
Island goats?
So there was a goat that was reported to be on, we have apparently the best kayak course in the world. Like legitimately,
I
it
can
is
see
known
that.
as the best kayak course in the world. And we hold competitions all the time. So, but there's this chunk of island around it. And there was a baby goat. It wasn't even a baby. I think it was an adult, but a smaller goat, and it was on the island. So where there was a small, I don't know, it was only like 3 feet deep for water. And so I get in the water and I walk across to the island. And in the process, I drop my work phone into the river.
Hell yeah.
But thankfully, I had specifically asked for a pink phone case, so I was able to see the phone in the water. Um, so I pick up the phone, shut it off, I get over to the island, and all of a sudden the goat ends up going across to the fucking mainland again. But at this point, I have like skipped over some rocks and I'm on this like big boulder because I was like, okay, I'm just gonna cross over this other way, but I didn't realize it was like 5 feet deep and we're in the rapids area.
Cool.
So like I had to go from this maybe 2 foot by 2 foot rock with wet shoes to go jump on this like 3 inch by 3 inch rock to then jump over. And I was like, mentally could not get past doing this. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna fall in. Like, I can't do this. I almost called the fire department
Hmm.
to come get my ass off of the rock until
Hell
one of the
yeah.
parking guys threw me. They had these poles that they would use to chalk
Oh,
tires with.
Hmm.
He
uh-huh.
threw me his pole and I used that to help brace myself and get over.
That's
Well, some good
fantastic.
Samaritans caught the goat for me.
I, I actually had a similar rescue, and it goes back to the whole catchpole thing. This was several years ago in Eagle County, and it was in the winter, and this dog kind of he chased a deer and got stuck on an island of ice
Mm,
in the river. In the river in Eagle River in Colorado is probably like 4.5 inches deep. Now it might be like 2 feet deep. It may be some places deeper, but in the winter it's definitely less because there's not, snow runoff and stuff. And I remember getting there and thinking to myself, well, let's just try. Like I probably should have called fire. And I wasn't even like a field responder. Like that wasn't my role. I was managing the shelter, but it was on my way to work. And I was like, yeah, I'll just go check it out. So I get there and I wade the river probably a good 20 feet to get to this ice island. And it's he was either a real large pitty or a Cane Corso. Weighed at least 75. I'm not joking. I have a picture of it somewhere. And I get onto this ice island and he's sketchy. He wants to take off. He wants to run for me. I don't have a catch pole. I'm on my way to work. All I have is a leash. I was like, well, I'm not we've already established I'm not the smartest person in the world.
we still love you.
I just
Yes.
go off of instinct, whatever. And so I finally get the dog to like again, I took my time. I'm like, hey, buddy, like it's gonna be okay. And so I finally get the dog to like trust me, let me put the leash on. And I literally did what we talked about earlier is I got the leash on and I scooped him. A 70-pound dog. Like this was not safe as I reflect. And I wade back through the water carrying this dog. And I'm soaked up to my knees. Like it's cold ice water and the rocks are like slick and I could have totally
Mm-hmm.
fallen with the dog and he could have gone away. But I got him back, warmed him up. There's a cute photo of him. If I can find it, I'll add it to this so people can see it in the video. And there's like a cute photo of him all blanketed up in the kennels, and
Oh.
it's a fun story. But sometimes we just got to go that extra mile, do the extra effort to protect and care for these animals. And we should end on that. That's a good note. But before we do, I thought of you recently, Wisconsin Bishop. Do you know what made me think of you mainly?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
I said I thought of you. Oh, she wants me to tell her that I thought of her recently.
I
Um,
mean,
when I saw all this Cracker Barrel logo fiasco change, I was like, this is Ashlee Bishop when we changed the Keep It Humane logo. Oh my God. This is exactly what we have to deal with.
I mean,
Now I get it. I get it. You can't change a staple.
no, you can't.
I get it. So no more name changes, no more logo changes.
Yay!
Yeah, right.
We're gonna keep it Cracker Barrel. Like, oh my God. That's the weirdest thing that I've had to witness in a long time. It's like, who cares? It's a fucking logo. But
Bro, we're in such a weird time. I don't understand why people care about half the shit they care about these days. It's weird.
it's
People are
like
weird.
they care about that, but then there's a dog that's been in the local shelter 463 days and nobody cares about that. So
Mm,
But overpopulation is a myth, remember?
mm,
on that
ouch.
note,
Sorry.
we appreciate all y'all listening. This is I had a reminder today on one of my social medias. This is year 6 of this podcast. This is amazing.
Fuck.
You
I
guys
can't
are great.
I can't even believe that. A lot of like sitcoms don't even last 6 years. This is insane.
Right.
And we've been going nonstop. So hats off to both of you. Hats off to some of our former hosts that have held it down. And then hats off, obviously, to the guests. But most importantly, hats off to all you listeners. We really appreciate y'all. Love y'all.
And you, Dan. Hats off
Mhm.
to you.
Yeah.
You've
I
kept it
know.
going.
But
Yeah.
but it's more the listeners. We wouldn't do it without them. So keep listening, keep sharing, rating, liking the podcast. We're here for you.
And
Hell
keep
yeah.
helping people.
Help animals.
And keep it humane.